You are not your titles. You are not your job. You are not your body, feelings, or thoughts. Set all of that aside. And again, I ask you, who are you? Let's see. Me without title, role, body, feeling, thoughts. Me in a vacuum. I think I am dead. Welcome back to Channels by Kiki. I'm your host, Kiki, I think, and you are the one who watches. Today we'll be tackling a book called The Untethered Soul by Micheal A. Singer. Whether this is one of those books that created the cliche or is just falling in line with it, The Untethered Soul is seeking to be a journey of self-discovery. I think if it was only a spiritual journey, I would have enjoyed it. In fact, I did really enjoy the first 3 or 4 chapters. But at about chapter 4, we began a cyclical sort of talking style that we just never got out of. So early on, he starts to lay the groundwork, dissecting you from all of the things except this one who hears. You are the one observing everything as if it were on a TV screen, but you are not those things. You are not what's in the TV screen. You are not an actor in your own life. So this is what we talk about for the rest of the book. You're you, the one who's watching. Everything else that exists in reality is a screen separate from you. And so something pops up on the screen, something happens to you in real life, you feel pain or you're afraid or something else that's bad, and that tempts you to close to protect yourself. Now closing is bad. You have energy centers and that's, the flow of energy. So you don't want to close those because then it's kind of like you're keeping in sickness and bacteria and bad things are going to grow. What you want to be is open, because when you're open, you feel good all the time. You feel a constant stream of love and you have infinite energy. So things happen, but don't close, stay open. Things happen, but they don't really happening to you. They're happening outside of you. Oh, it happens that close. So don't close. Stay open. That is hypothetical bad. Stay open. So don't close. Stay open. Don't close. Stay open. I made it to chapter 13. So that cyclical nature of the book was just a little bit toilsome for me. I stopped at around chapter 13. I read the table of contents to make sure I wasn't missing anything. And then I went to the last chapter, read a little bit, and I was done. I did what the book told me not to do, and I closed so that I may remain open. So yes, my first issue with this book is its deeply cyclical nature. My other, and I feel more important issue is asking myself, where is this coming from? If you want to know where this book is coming from and you want to read it for yourself, go no further than the introduction. On page 11 to 12 of my phone, this is what he says in regards to the spiritual journey he's going to take you on and what resources he's pulling from. We will not do so in a traditional manner. We will neither call upon the experts in psychology nor upon the great philosophers, religious views, or statistically supported surveys of people's opinion. So to the average reader, that may sound great. I don't have to get a doctorate in soul studies in order to understand what you're talking about. But as a critical reader, those should ring some big alarms. One, it's isolating. Just you and me in a room talking about you. You are the master of you. You're the only one who knows about you, but I'm going to guide you on this journey, and no one can speak into this situation. It's not that nobody can, but it's that nobody does. So he can't be held accountable for the things that he says because they're not coming from anywhere. So if the only 2 people in this book who are talking are you and him, how on earth is this book going to actually help you to live in the world that God has made for you? Why would you be better off after reading this book than you were before if it's just about you? So if what he says is true, that he's not going to hold himself accountable to anything else that exists in reality and he's not going to lead you to reality, then this book is coming from nowhere, out of nothing, which is impossible. It can't come from nothing, so he's lying to you. I don't believe he's intentionally trying to deceive you, but the reality is that nothing comes from nothing. So there was a time where I researched about how to improve my drawing, and the unfortunate news is that I just have to draw more. But I think one of the best pieces of advice I got from this research was, if you want to improve your drawings, realize that you don't improve in a vacuum. The best thing you can do is find the people who are doing what you want to do and copy them. I mean, give them credit, but reference them. If you don't do that actively, you are doing that implicitly. You're seeing what you like in the world and you're taking even if you don't know it. So when Micheal A. Singer wrote this book, he is pulling from external resources, whether or not he gives credit to them, except that he does. The last chapter references a lot of biblical stuff, but when he starts actually talking about this spiritual, you're the one who watches, seat of consciousness stuff, he admits that he's openly consulting the yogi's tradition, like yoga. So this idea that the only way to find yourself is to try to trap your soul in a vacuum, cut away everything that God has put you in and woven you into, I think that is far more hurtful than helpful. So unfortunately, no Kiki stars for this book. How out of 40,000 do so many people love this book? Did you like it? Did you read it? Did you enjoy it? I'm genuinely curious. What did you get out of it? Was your life significantly better out of this? Was I just missing something? Was there something in chapter 14 I was about to get to? Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm gonna go ahead and start some comments in the comment section for talking points, quotes that I thought were interesting, and let me know how you feel. Again, if you got something from this book, let me know. I also want to remind you I'm gonna comment in the comments to comment something for me to draw, and then you comment there and tell me from the comments what I should draw comments. So let's see what the comments have offered me. Fine, I'll do it myself.